This is 142.2, The Kingdom.
And once again, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're gonna have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to 142.2 The Kingdom. We are here live via X, via YouTube, wherever you can listen to podcasts in this world. And it is finally the NFL season kicking off tomorrow with Eagles and Cowboys. But on Friday, the Chiefs finally begin their season against the Chargers in Brazil, of all places. If you would have talked to me 10 years ago and said that we were going to be opening the season in Brazil, you would have called me crazy. I would have said you were crazy too. All the above. This is a monumentous occasion. We are finally getting back to football season. We got DG in the house. We got Richard in the house. It is going to be an interesting week. How is everybody doing so far?
Good, man. Finally, game week. Finally, officially, the real thing is here. So no longer talking about training camp or looking at, guys running in shorts and shirts. It's good, man. It's good times in the city.
It's time for the real stuff. The time for hitting just your teammates day in and day out is now finally over. It's time to go hit somebody else in the mouth, and it's going to count this time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's exciting.
Oh, yeah. And this is our big predictions podcast as well. So not only are we going to go over the Chargers game, we're going to go over the AFC West. We're going to predict the win-loss record for the Chiefs. Quickly go through every division, everything, awards, Super Bowl pick if you have it, and a couple other things. But we got a lot of jam-packed stuff. Obviously, we're going to talk about the game against the Chargers in Brazil on Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. That's the first game that they're having on YouTube, which is another big thing, which is pretty big and exciting, honestly. It looks like we're finally going to get there's a lot of news coming out of it. Jalen Royals is going to be out for this game. Obviously, the Rashee Rice suspension includes this game, so Rashee is out for this. But otherwise, I think we are relatively healthy and ready to go. Hollywood said he's ready for the game as well. Initial thoughts, Richard, on this matchup and how we are ready for the season.
should be pretty interesting, especially considering how revamped this Chargers team is. Pretty much an entirely new stable of running backs coming in. They'll be led by J.K. Dobbins and presumably Najee Harris. The prevailing reporting is that he is going to be ready for the game. So we'll see a variety of backs out of their backfield. Jim Harbaugh loves to run the football. They've brought back their longtime receiver back from Chicago to head their offense, along with Ladd McConkey and Trey Harris, their new draft pick, as well as Quentin Johnston. So I expect we're going to see a lot of running the football. We're going to see a lot of probably 2 tight end looks from them. And just I hope the guys are ready to see a lot of running backs come at them, because I'm expecting a good probably 30 carries collectively from them at least in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a definitely exciting matchup. Heading down there, so we'll see what happens. Oh, no, my dad. I thought you was waiting on this.
No, you good. And shout out to Corey for joining us tonight. What's up, Corey? How you doing?
Pretty good. How about y'all?
Doing good.
We're good. We're just ready for we are ready for the NFL season. Obviously, Chargers in Brazil. What do you think are going to be the big keys to the game? I know it's the first week of the season, so being able to fully prepare for this game is interesting. But what do you think are going to be the keys for the Chiefs to get a successful victory on Friday?
Seeing if our D line can hold up. I mean, they've got somebody that's proven in college. He's a workhorse back, and Harbaugh's always been a run-heavy offense. They've got Herbert. They've got there's a new receiver, Trey Harris, they just drafted. Look a little bit different than they did last year. I think we'll see more of the run game. So I'm kind of worried about that, and I bring in Pennell back and bring in Noddy back, how that look. So like I said, stopping the run is going to be the key to me, and being consistent on offense, not having a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the passing offense looks against the Chargers. I saw an interesting stat today when it came to deep throws of 20 or yards or more, that against teams that had that against the Chargers defense allowed a 121 passer rating and 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And I think their defense has gone a little bit weaker. So I'm very interested to see how we push the ball forward. And I feel like even without Rasheed or Jalen Royals, I feel like we'll be able to create a good tempo with our offense and be able to throw some deep passes and see Xavier Worthy catch some deep balls. That's what I'm excited about. And then Hollywood being there is going to be great. I know we're still waiting for the ultimate trifecta of Hollywood, Rice, and Worthy until week 7, but I feel like being in a neutral environment, I feel like it'll be easy for the Chiefs to get things going.
Well, one more key on offense is going to be, we're probably going to see it early with Rice out. Which version of Kelsey are we going to see? Are we going to see last year's version or 2 years ago version? He looked like he's in a lot better shape. It looks like he's got a little bit more burst this year. But like I said, camp is camp. I want to see it in the regular season game.
What's up, Trizzy? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight?
How's
everybody doing?
We ready for tomorrow and beyond, man.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So, Trizzy, what are you which player are you most excited to see on the field on Friday? Who do you think is going to make a big impact against the Chargers?
I'll go usual. I mean, obviously the guys, 15, 8, 7, 1, all those guys have to contribute, right? But my biggest takeaway is going to be the first round draft pick. I want to see how he looks in a real game against a future Hall of Fame guy and Khalil Mack. And, if he holds up, he's going to struggle, have his ups and downs. But I just really want to see if his play can kind of, ignite that offense that we're kind of looking for, and to be able to get the ball downfield a little more, put a lot more pressure on defenses, man. I think, as far as adding guys and bringing guys on the roster, obviously we struggle with, having Rasheed Rice come in and get suspended, and then we have to deal with the Jalen Warriors injury as well. So obviously that takes away, from production efficiency. So Andy Reid, I'm sure, will have a plan to make sure that we get that from somewhere else, whether that be the tight end game, we're bringing Robert Tonyan in, or maybe that comes from a Brashard Smith out of SMU who gets a couple touches here and there. Maybe Isaiah Pacheco is looking like his old self. So, just a tons of questions to answer. But I feel like Josh Simmons and his play, just right off the bat, can really kind of answer some of those questions earlier on for our offense. Knowing what we can do. We already were a good running team, and I think Josh Simmons can add to that as well. He's very athletic, can get outside, can pull. A guy that can move, from 0 to 100 really quick for an old lineman. Got some good feet, quick hands, big arms. Like everything about him, just can he stay healthy? Can he be a guy that's relied on, that we know no matter what, 71 is going to do his job? And if he's the guy that, we think he is, and that Veach think he is, then, and this organization thinks he is, then I'm behind it. And I think, he's the kind of key to unlocking that. I mean, sure, you can go get some guys who are faster. Sure, you can go get some better receivers. But at the end of the day, we need more than just good or good sometimes play from the offensive line, especially him and in from that left tackle position. We really hadn't had a guy with his type of stature, maybe since maybe Mitchell and those guys who were on that offensive line, and Eric Fisher and those guys. So, I mean, I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for the offense if it pans out, because he'll be our infinity stone to be able to lock the Chiefs and see that offense get high octane like they know they can.
Totally agree. I'm also interested to see how our D line holds up, for sure.
Oh yeah, D-line,
I know Chris Jones is going to show up, but guys like Mike Dana, George Karlaftis, I'm interested to see how much Gillette gets snaps, because he was doing okay in preseason.
Yeah, I'm kind of
and see what kind of
interested.
impact he makes.
I wanted to ask a quick question about the Mike Pennell news. Why is everybody so brought out about that?
I think because Pennell was the highest rated run defender last year, and Noddy was one of our worst rated. So if we're going to bring back some depth, then a lot of people are saying, why not bring back the one that worked better in our offense or our defense last year than the one that didn't?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. People went to PFF, looked at the grades, and said, "Well, this doesn't look good," without realizing that some of the guys they mentioned, one was hurt all last year, so that grade was from 2023 when he was still a rookie. The other one played maybe 20% of the snaps, and then there's Derek Noddy, who they're comparing him to. So it's like I don't put too much stock in that. There's a clear agenda to get younger and more athletic on the defensive line. I think they've done that. Looking at guys like Zach Pickens, like Broderick Martin, two guys who have a pretty good chance to probably get elevated and might even be on the active roster on Friday. It just depends on it'll depend on tomorrow when they get there to see what they're going to do on that. But I think it's ultimately going to be fine as long as everybody does their job, because when everybody was doing their job, we had a perfectly fine run defense, even with guys like Turk Wharton, who's an undersized defensive tackle, was still getting in and making plays in the run game. So I'm not super concerned about it. Week 1, you can get back to me in about a month on that at least, before I start asking, hey, who's not doing their job? So
I think it's just an embarrassment of not riches, but like just a way of the overreaction is kind of crazy. I also think the fact that he went to the Bengals also kind of annoys some of the fan base. I mean, guys got to get a job somewhere. So and the Bengals really need a good run stopper, especially if you saw the preseason. They couldn't stop anybody.
The Bengals need good everything on defense right now.
So, I mean, would it be nice to have him back? Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a business, So,
I think my camera's upside.
But so I'm getting the feeling that a majority of us think that this is going to be a Chiefs dub on Friday.
It should be.
And
I think it
should be.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
If you even taking into account the Royals injury, him being out, and Rashid being out, I'm not entirely convinced on the Chargers secondary, and their two best players on defense for my money are a safety and a down lineman on their team. So if you can keep Khalil Mack in check and make Derwin James have to actually cover a length of the field and exploit matchups in front of him, I think that this team should be just fine on Friday. And you just get out of there without any major injuries I think they have the talent advantage over this team, and I think they should be able to take care of business on Friday, honestly.
Yeah, I think it should be obviously a dub for them. With the new revamp kind of offensive line. I mean, I think outside of Khalil Mack, the Chargers, in my opinion, don't have a lot of proven talent on that side of the pass rush side. Joey Bosa's not there anymore. I know that they drafted a kid out of USC a couple years ago, but he's still kind of coming into his own at this point in time. So now stepping into this year, we've said it all last year. As long as if the Chiefs get comparable tackle play, that they'll be able to move the ball, and I think that'll be a significant factor heading into this game. Nothing in that Chargers secondary outside of probably Derwin James, and we know his game. We're very familiar with his game. I think really sticks out to you at this point. So your receivers should be able to go out there and have some success against that Chargers secondary and be able to move the ball. I think that's going to be the biggest factor heading into this. It does kind of give me a little cause of concern heading into this game as far as the defensive side and the defensive line. But I think if your offense is able to move the ball and put up points, you kind of take the Chargers out of what they really like to do, which is run the ball and control the clock and kind of make them play from behind. If you can do that, then I think you kind of play more into the hands of what the Chiefs defense is going to be actually good at this year, and getting to the getting to the quarterback, and in that secondary as well too. So Chiefs this should be a win. This should be a dub. But it's a division game, so anything can go wacky and happen or anything like that. Jim Harbaugh is a good coach, and he's definitely going to have his guys prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of piggybacking off what he said. I don't really like. I do want to see the offense be explosive, but I want to see them more efficient than explosive. And here's why I say that is because I think there's always going to be opportunities for Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice when he gets back, Hollywood, and all those guys to get on the same page. Obviously, Tyquan's going to have to play a bigger role coming in, right? Maybe Brownlee gets some of those snaps. So allowing these guys to get comfortable in their roles is my first thing. I know it's a divisional opponent, but I know we're going to run the ball as well. So I would like to see Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt kind of establish the game too. I do want to see Patrick Mahomes be efficient, and I think he will be. It's going to be his first time in the light since the Super Bowl, and a lot of people have been saying a lot of stuff. So I think not just him with his mentality, but Patrick Mahomes could have won the Super Bowl and he'd be playing the same way tomorrow. So his mindset is never in question. So seeing how the new offense looks, kind of, sort of, bit missing a few guys, but seeing how the new offense looks under Andy Reid and with Josh Simmons, and then on the defensive side, I just want to see if we're still the same. If we can get back to that level of pass defense we were a couple seasons ago. Not saying that we're quite in that threshold with some of the talent that we had. Obviously, we had a more established group of veterans and guys who've been in the system and guys who played their role well, but I really want to see if we're able to kind of control the pace on defense, get Chris Jones some more looks, some more one-on-ones. Love to see Charles Omenihu be explosive off the back. I love to see what guys like Omar Norman Lott can do for us off the back and see if his pass rush ability is really what they say. And just having the experience of having these real world guys, like being in these situation of real games, it's gonna be fun to see some of the rookies and see what they can do and see what they can contribute. But I'm just focused on us controlling the tempo on both sides of the ball. The defense getting off the field on third downs, stopping the run, stuff that we did well last year, and just continuing to build on that and kind of getting back to that pass defense that we once had, and just being able to get off the field on third downs, and specifically third and longs was killing us last year. So I definitely want to see if that's getting better, and just seeing how the guys react to it.
100%. So I'm getting the feeling that everyone's picking a Chiefs win. So I think this is a good segue to talk about the schedule this year, as I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. Obviously, this is our schedule. It's read horizontally, and obviously we're facing the Chargers this weekend. But as we're we face the Eagles the following week, Giants, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Detroit, the Raiders, Washington, Buffalo. Then we finally have our bye, Denver, Indy, Dallas on Thanksgiving, Houston, Chargers, Titans, Denver on Christmas, and then back with the Raiders. So to start our predictions, we're gonna call out what we think the Chiefs record is gonna be. I'm gonna start off. I think the Chiefs are gonna go 13-4 specifically. When it comes to the losses, I think with anything, there's gonna be a lot of toss-ups. I'm going with a more high upside, but also kind of conservative in a little bit of ways. The losses I think that could happen would be Philly. I know it's at home, but Philly's the defending champs. It could definitely happen. Buffalo on the road, Denver on the road, and then I think when I did the schedule again, I was like debating whether or not if we lost to maybe a Baltimore or Detroit. So I think it could be one of those two, but I think they definitely have 14-3 potential, but I'm going to go with 13-4, which sounds like an overshoot based on the media perception of the Chiefs right now, but I'm thinking 13-4.
Yeah, I'll kick it off again. We're going 14-3, and the only reason we're going 14-3 is because we're going to be resting starters at the end of the year, so we won't have to play that game. You understand me? The Chiefs are always here. We're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. We all up in here. We're not going nowhere. 14-3. Only reason we lose that last game is because we resting starters.
What's your other
Which
two
losses?
Yeah.
Huh?
What's your other two losses?
I need to know who he thinks we're going to lose to.
Yeah.
Buffalo in the regular season, of course.
Okay.
And I'd say maybe the Raiders or the.
We ain't losing to the Raiders, dog.
We're
It's
not
the
getting,
Raiders.
are you saying we're getting
think you
swept
were
by the
saying-
Raiders?
I
I'm
say
saying we
either
getting
the
swept by the
Lions. Either the Lions. We're not losing to the Eagles at home. We're not losing to the Eagles. I say the Lions maybe because of that old line, or I would even kickstart maybe on Christmas. Is Christmas at home or is it there?
Christmas
Christmas
is
at
at
home.
home.
I'm going to that game. We ain't losing that game.
We're not losing to the
We're
Giants.
not losing to them at Christmas. So maybe
I think Denver on the road.
Maybe
Yeah.
Denver on the road. Maybe that's a maybe. I really got us going 15-3.
Thanks. So you saying we're going to be Baltimore, Washington, Houston, and possibly Philly? Oh, that's.
You don't- I
Yeah,
don't
so
think
you think
that
we're going
any one of
6-0 until Rasheed gets back?
Yeah, we gonna I'm telling you, bro. We
Okay.
sweeping the floor.
Okay.
That's
That's
pretty
I
good.
like
I
the
like
confidence. That's all right.
Yeah. I would say I'm on the more side of down with 13-4. I think that sounds right in the bracket of where I think that this team should probably end up being. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go 14-3. I definitely don't think we're losing the home opener to the Eagles. I know a lot of fans have been talking kind of that may be a scheduled loss. I don't see that happening, especially after everything that's happened over the last year and coming into that game, how motivated and pissed off the Chiefs will actually be. I think the Chiefs will be pissed off for both of these games, for real, just because of the result of what happened in New Orleans. And that's the last time people have kind of seen this team in that realm. So I don't think that they lose to the Eagles. The scheduled losses for me, Buffalo would definitely be I think that's always the scheduled loss for us. I wouldn't be surprised if we do beat them, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be surprised if we lose that game. At Denver, it's gonna be a tough game for us.
You think we losing to Denver off the bye? And he doesn't lose off the bye though.
And he has before though.
He has before, but his record off the bye is insane.
His record off the bye is very good.
I think 2 weeks of Andy, and you think he's still gonna lose to Denver?
I think
on
that
the road?
I think we sweep Denver this year, man. I don't know.
You could go into that game, obviously highly motivated off a Buffalo win, and
It's
And
still
that could
mile
end up
high
being
though.
one of
I'd be more mad if we lost off of a bye to Denver than if we lost on Christmas and I'm going to that game. Like
That's my thing is that I don't think at Christmas. I know every
because
Chiefs fan-
we only got 3 days rest off that game because
Yeah.
the 21st we're coming back from a road
Right.
game.
Well,
people are
it's
mortified at
I'm gonna
Christmas
be
Day.
at that Titans game, and I'm pretty sure, God love the
We'll
Titans.
I'll get to
Yeah.
that. I'll get to that when I give my prediction. But
I think
Titans.
I think Detroit could be a tough game as well too. Just Sunday night being at home, and the Chiefs are always kind of due for a brain dead game at some point in time to certain opponents or whatever. I could probably see the Houston
game last year.
that Texans game could be a tough game just with how good their defense is. I think schematically, defensively, they match up very well against us.
Is that another Sunday night football game?
Yeah, it's another Sunday night.
Yeah.
So those will probably be my
Is
4
that
losses.
Arrowhead?
Yeah, it is.
We're not losing that.
I'm and like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if we won, but at the same time, I just think defensively, and the last couple of times you've beaten the Texans, I think that's a game they could come in being motivated. And like I said, I think schematically on the defensive side of the ball, they really match up with us well. And I think that's also a point in time. Offensively, they'll be getting healthy. Hopefully, Tank Dell will be back for that game. He'll be ultra motivated for that game as well too, because getting hurt in Arrowhead last year,
Especially how
and
he's
things of that
balling
nature.
last year too.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he was smoking us, no cap.
But
Corey,
yeah,
what are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking 13-4. 2 losses I'm going to call, or I'd say Detroit and Buffalo. And then I think we either lose one of the Ravens or the Eagles. I think we win one, lose one. And then we're going to have the yearly how the hell did we lose to that team game.
The Colts.
So you think we're gonna have to play week 18 like everybody?
yeah,
Based on what I'm hearing
How
here.
I did the schedule, I think it's the first place is going to be really close between the Bills and the Ravens.
The
Personally,
way I look at it is we've got a tough start to the schedule, especially with Rashee Rice out for 6 games. The D-line hasn't looked like they put it together so far in camp. They struggled. The secondary hasn't really got to get hands on yet, and they kind of struggle. I think it'll take 3 or 4 games before we even really see the team starting to come together and what they're going to be. So, I mean, I think we drop a couple, maybe 3 in the first half of the season and then finish strong.
I'll disagree.
damn.
Yeah, I've also got us going 13-4, but I think 13-4 only because we're resting starters the last game, because I think 13 games can get the first seed this year just because of how competitive the AFC is, and there's going to be a lot of jockeying for position. I'm going to say we're going to be resting starters week 18 because wherever we are in seeding, it's probably going to be locked, and we're not going to have to worry about it. I'm penciling in Buffalo as a loss because we never beat them in the regular season. And the 2 losses I'm looking at, it's going to be one of Philly or Detroit, actually, instead of Philly or Baltimore. I actually think we beat Baltimore at home week 4, but there's something about Pat and 3:30 start times that he just seems to really like, especially in September. So I think we win that one. And the other game is going to be between either that Indy game or that Tennessee game, because both of them are doing one of 2 things. They're squeezed in between 2 really big games, in the case of Indy being a road division game and a primetime game on Thanksgiving, Pat's first game ever in Jerry World. I know the Cowboys have had their whole thing of drama this offseason, and I have no idea how good their defense,
Cowboys.
how good or bad their defense is going to be. I have no idea. We'll find that out pretty quickly tomorrow.
Bad.
But that Indy game feels like a trap game, and then that Tennessee game is put smack right in the middle of two division matchups again.
So you think
that will probably determine the division between those last two division games, because I'm expecting that there could be a lot of jockeying for position within the division again, like there was last year, especially to get that second place. Will probably be a playoff team. So
you think Tennessee is the
I
Green
think
Day
Tennessee
game?
has a potential to be a game that they look past and then wind up doing something stupid,
I can
because
see it.
it's happened
Well,
before.
They
always
I
have
don't want
one
to mention a
Green
certain
Day
game. I don't want to mention a certain game where a certain quarterback caught his own pass and ran for a touchdown, but
Don't worry, that guy's not the quarterback anymore.
that looks like a game that could have some shenanigans happen, and Indy always has shenanigans that happen. So
Also,
I think 13
Snead
and 4
against the Chiefs revenge game.
I think 13-4 can still secure a 1 seed, depending on obviously which games we win in the AFC and what ultimately happens between Buffalo and Baltimore. I'm not as worried about Buffalo than I am about Baltimore's schedule, because I think Buffalo's schedule is a little bit harder than Baltimore's, but I see I see the Philly and Detroit, and then either Indy or Tennessee being the other two games that I think we drop. And I think week 18 will be a resting starters game if we have the 1 or 2 seed locked up. So
I also wouldn't be surprised if week 18 is one of those, like, we play guys in the first half and then Gardner and the guys
it very
come
well
out.
could be like that. That game always depends on who's healthy, who's not, and what are the implications if we don't. Like, it doesn't hurt us if we don't win the game.
Right.
So I'm not expecting much from Vegas this season. Personally, when I was doing the schedule, I think I had them only winning 5 games. Yeah, I only had them winning 5 games. Just because I don't of the 4 teams, even with their additions, I still am not a believer in their secondary. I'm not a believer in their back end, and outside of Max Crosby and basically their quarterback, they don't really have any of those guys on their team. So I just don't see it in year 1 of Pete Carroll. Maybe in year 2 and beyond, but I just don't see it this year. I think it's going to take a year before we really see this team try to compete for at least second place in the division.
Yeah, speaking of the AFC West, last year in AFC West, obviously the Chiefs won. I'm guessing by everyone picking 13 wins, unless someone's picking one of the other teams to go 14 wins. Chiefs won the division. But last year also, the AFC West gave 3 playoff teams, including the Chargers and the Broncos. So how are we thinking the AFC West goes, other than the Chiefs winning the division for a 10th straight year, I believe?
Yes, this would be the 10th straight year.
Chargers 2nd place, Denver 3rd place out of the playoffs. Raiders 4th.
Yeah, I've also got Chargers 2nd place, and Broncos 3rd place. But I actually also have both of them making the playoffs. Again,
Wow.
I think the AFC West has 3 playoff teams. The way I have it ranking out is Baltimore 2nd, Bills 3rd, Texans 4th, winning the AFC South. And then I've got the Bengals, Chargers, and then Broncos in that order to round out the wild card slate. I have the Patriots just losing out
Wow.
on the playoff spot this year, but they'll be better.
I'd say mine kind of similar, but I'd switch out Baltimore. I think Baltimore I think Baltimore might win that division, and the Bengals might get that wild card spot.
Sweet.
So you think
Yeah,
the Bengals win the division instead of Baltimore?
I think it's possible. I think both teams make the playoffs.
Oh, I think it's totally possible. I had Baltimore 12-5, and then I had the Bengals 11-6. Like it was a 1-game difference.
Yeah.
So I think that last week will matter for seeding if all three of Bengals, Chargers, and Broncos are in a position to jockey for where they would want to play. It would be I think it could be really interesting to see what happens there.
I think this might sound crazy. I think this division is going to be one of the toughest. I think the NFC North is probably, in my opinion, the toughest division in football. But I don't think the AFC North is going to be as tough as this one, in my opinion. And because I think it's going to be so tough, I don't have anybody else in this division making the playoffs. Like, I think for my seeding, how I did it, I have the Chargers and Broncos and Raiders all going 9-8.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I think the Raiders, I think the one thing about the Raiders
Got the Raiders
is that
9 games. Wow.
I think it's possible only because I think Geno is remarkably better quarterback than Aiden O'Connell was and Gardner. I think I like Ashton Genty on the team. I like Pete Carroll being the coach of that team. Brock Bowers is tight end 1 right now, and I think he's going to have another big year. I think with that, I mean, I think the Raiders can spoil a lot of days just by that alone. I'm not saying they're going to be amazing because 9-8 is just
tough schedule, man.
I think everyone. I don't know. I'm
even
looking
for a last place team, they got a tough schedule, man.
I know, but I just think they can be spoiler to a lot of teams this year. I still have them last place in the division. It's just kind of how that all worked out.
9-8, and being 4th place off a tiebreaker, though. That, man, you must have them going like 3-3 in the division or something like that.
I see them. Well, not 3-3.
Like, because there's a lot of funky math you'd have to do for that to work out that way for be a 3-way tie for second.
Yeah, man. But they finished last, so technically Raiders are my last place team. But I think they could be one of the best last place teams in the entire league. So
We play the Raiders the last game of the season, right?
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the game that they win because we're going to be resting starters. They're going to be fighting for the playoffs.
So that'll make it 9-8.
I don't
For
even
me.
think they win that game. Because if you're resting starters, you got the Gardner.
Man, they may be
Oh,
playing.
we said that shit last year with Carson Wentz, and
Man, they may be playing for draft seeding. Man, I don't know.
Yeah,
They may be trying
but
to
Carson Wentz had to play against the Denver Broncos starters, and Minshew would be going back to Vegas.
Yeah, go back to Vegas, man. They may hand him the starting job that week on principle. I don't know.
Nah, so I only have 2 teams in our division making it, and that's us and Denver. Love the Chargers, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I feel you.
At this
I
point.
feel you.
From a defensive perspective, I just don't see them holding up throughout the year. I think that they'll be able to obviously run the ball and things of that nature, but I just don't believe in that secondary holding up for a full year in that schedule. The Raiders as well.
It's okay.
I think you got to give Pete Carroll at least a year before that kind of comes into fruition. I love the rookie and Ashton Genty. I love having Brock Bowers. I think Geno Smith is a serviceable quarterback, but I also think Geno Smith is a guy who's very turnover prone.
Anytime interception.
Yeah, and it's the reason why I took him for 10.5 interceptions on the year. So every year that he's been a starter, he's thrown double-digit interceptions. and I think that that's ultimately what keeps them out of a lot of games this year. So, yeah, I got us and Denver making it to the playoffs.
Well, I got money on Denver not making it, so I'm taking the Chargers, baby.
Corey, who do you got in the playoffs for it, or what do you got in the division at least for the AFC West?
I would say Casey and I don't know. It's a toss-up between Denver. Denver's got
And
a
the
great
Chargers.
defense. Chargers, I think their offense is going to look a lot better with that running game, having a solid running game for once. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
All right.
Man, I just can't bet against that defense that Denver's got this year, man. I feel like that's going to win them more games than the Chargers offense is going to win them games.
Well, the good thing
Like,
about having a defense like that is it gives you way more opportunities to like score points.
The last thing about Denver is like defense is great. Defense is great. All Knicks played against one starting quarterback last year.
On top
Baker
of that-
Mayfield, I think.
On top
Yeah.
of that, they won.
and the starting quarterbacks don't play defense, so
They won several games on some freak plays.
I also lost several. I also lost a few games on some freak plays.
Yeah.
What does that matter about the
that
defense
goes both
if
ways.
They're playing against a backup quarterback.
Well, I mean, they're a lot when they played the teams with good quarterbacks, they lost, and then when they played teams that had questionable quarterbacks, they won.
Last time we seen that Denver
So-
defense, 31 on their head.
But they did beat the Bucks, and Baker's a good quarterback. So, but that was their only quality win against a starting quarterback. you know?
I think the one thing that plays against them this season is they have to go on the road for a lot of good teams. They've got to go on the road at Philly. They got to go on the road at Houston, at the Commanders. Obviously, they have a game against us. And they get a lot of and they still have to play the Bengals and the Packers, even though both of those are at home. So it doesn't – a lot of their easy games are at home, but a lot of their toughest competition is going to be on the road in hostile environments. So I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they go about that.
for sure.
Over the course of the season, but I still think they make the playoffs.
All right.
Ultimately.
So now let's do some rapid fire before we do some other fun stuff. So AFC North, Richard, who you got?
I got Baltimore and the Bengals making the playoffs, and I think Baltimore wins the division again. I think their defense is still all due respect to the Steelers, I still think their defense is going to be a lot better against the pass than it was last year overall. And I think ultimately it's going to be those two teams. I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I think they're going to make the playoffs this year after being out for the last 2 years. Simply because I think they're going to score 35 a game. They may give up 34 a game, but I think that actually may work in their favor this year. I just have a weird – I don't believe in the Steelers this year. I don't care what smoke you want to give me about Aaron Rodgers and all of that. I do not have the Steelers making the playoffs this year. Not a believer. Probably not going to be a believer all year. So –
Yeah, I got Ravens winning the division, Bengals sneaking into the playoffs, and then Steelers and Steelers in third place, and Browns. in
the Browns
fourth.
will be picking top 5 again.
I think the thing is that the Bengals and Steelers have an opportunity to kind of get the same record, depending on how things go. I know, that's a lot riding on Aaron Rodgers to lead the team, but I think their defense is good enough to help alleviate even Rodgers' struggling a little bit in this new offense. So I think the Bengals sneak in even if they have the same record as the Steelers, because I think they'll have a better divisional record. So I have the Bengals as my 6th seed. So yeah.
Corey, what you got for AFC North?
I'm gonna go Baltimore, then Cincy. Like I said, Rodgers has looked washed. They got rid of Pickens. I just don't see them making the playoffs this year. They may struggle to keep Tomlin's 500 record, above 500 record, in my opinion.
100%.
Then the Browns. I think the Browns might win a couple surprising games with Flacco like they did last year, but they're nowhere near playoff ready.
Top 5 again.
GG, what you got?
I obviously got the Ravens making it, winning that division.
Don't tell me you're an Aaron Rodgers believer. Don't tell me.
Is it that I'm an Aaron Rodgers believer, or I'm just a Cincinnati Bungles hater? Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers. I'm sorry. I don't believe
I have both of them not making the
I
playoffs.
don't believe in the Bengals defense. I think they suck. I think that's going to be their biggest downfall. I don't care how many yards or touchdowns Joe Burrow throws for it. I think they missed the playoffs again for a second consecutive season. And yeah, I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I'm sorry.
It's gross.
It's disgusting, I know, but hate the Bengals. Sorry.
What about you,
So,
Trizzy?
Yeah, I'll probably go Ravens. I don't like the Ravens at all. I hate the Ravens. I hate everybody, to be honest. If you're not the Chiefs, I really do hate your team, and specifically the AFC West. I don't like the Ravens at all. I hate the Ravens too, but I like Lamar Jackson. He's a good quarterback. I think he's unfortunate to have a coach like John Harbaugh who doesn't really specialize in much,
That's a
but
fact.
motivational speeches. So sucks
That's
for
special
Lamar. But yeah, I got the Ravens. I do have the Bengals as the 7th seed this year, sneaking in, creeping in.
All right.
That's where I had them. I had them just edging out the Patriots for the 7th seed this year.
You guys are gonna watch them cry again about. Oh,
And you know what? That's cool.
I just
Like,
want to beat.
I would love that.
Would have played their starters. We would have got in.
I want to beat them again.
hey, it could happen again.
I just want Denver to miss the playoffs. Everybody on this Denver train, and I'm just like, slow down the tracks. One starting quarterback. I'm not feeling that, man. We're gonna see though.
Yeah, it's either Denver or the Chargers.
AFC East. How I think
Bills,
that
come on, man.
Bills.
Wait a minute,
I got-
think
I
this
got
one's-
the Patriots making the playoffs as the 5th seed.
Oh, really?
What?
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
think
bold.
I know it's
Oh, no.
bold. I don't think they're gonna win the division. I still think they're gonna make the playoffs.
The
I
5th
just
seed, they would have to win the division to be the 5th seed.
No, they
No,
won't.
no, they would not.
Yeah, 5th seed's a wild card.
So you think they're going to win 10, 11 games and get the 5th seed? That's all right.
I think
Wow.
what I like about I root for Vrabel because once he became the head coach of the Titans, I became a Titans believer since I live in Nashville. And obviously what he brings back to the Patriots is going to be good. I think Drake May year 2 with I know Josh McDaniels is not a great head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure he'll do better than the guy did last year. So I think they have a good opportunity to make the playoffs this year.
I just got the Bills. The Patriots were my first team out. I actually had them winning 10 games, but missing the playoffs. Just because the AFC is that competitive. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs ultimately. I think they'll be better. But I just got the Bills making the playoffs again out of that division. I still don't believe in the Dolphins, and the Jets are the Jets. And we can move along with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Buffalo. That's it.
Valid.
Yep.
same.
All right, and then the AFC South. I have Texans and Jags in. I think the Jags.
Ooh.
I
Not
think
the-
that
Not the prince who was promised in the playoffs.
it's make or break for them this year, and I think what they've done. I think it's make or break for Travis
shout out to
Hunter.
Nick for that one. Shout out to Nick Wright for that one.
Oh, crazy, bro.
I think they're gonna get the 7th seed, the Jags, but I think Houston takes the division. But I think to win this division, you don't even need to win. I think it's like the NFC South used to be, where it's like you don't really need 10 wins to win this division. But I will say, I think the Colts get the number 1 pick. I think the Colts are going to be bad.
The Colts are going to be that bad? You think the Colts are going to be
Yes.
worse than the Browns, the Jets, and possibly the Giants? Wow.
I think so, because I think there's a little bit of a karma reaction to how they did Anthony Richardson, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it being Texans and Jags. I think that the Jags are a fringe playoff or boom or bust kind of team.
They're either going to be really good or really bad.
I don't think
there's no in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think they're going to be really bad.
but I could see a pathway where they do win either 9 or 10 games or something like that. I think they got enough talent down there, and then especially drafting Travis Hunter and what he made with Brian Thomas Jr. I think is going to have another breakout year for them. So I think that their offense will be able to keep them in a lot of games. I could see it. I could see them being the 7th seed. I definitely got Houston winning it, even though all the kind of question marks with their offensive line at this point. But I think somebody honestly wins that division, like 10-7 or 11-6, something like that. I think you don't have to win that many games to win.
Yeah. I agree. I think I still got the Texans winning the division, and I have them as the only AFC South team making the playoffs. I look at Jacksonville's schedule, and I find it extremely difficult to find more wins than the Texans, honestly, just because they have a lot of weird games. They got to go to the Cardinals. They have the Rams. They have the Seahawks. They go to the 49ers, to the Bengals. There's just a whole lot of weird games in there that I don't see them winning. So I really just have the Texans when it comes to that. The Colts have Daniel Jones, and the Titans are still at least a year away, even with an upgraded quarterback. So
I think Titans are going to be fun, though. I think the Titans are going to be fun.
they will probably be the most fun 5-6 win team this year.
I do have the Titans at 6 wins.
So they will be interested. They will not be boring this year. I think you can definitely pencil that one in.
All right, now we're back. So for seeding, I think Chiefs get the 1st seed. I got Buffalo, and then Ravens, and then Texans, and then 5th seed Patriots, 6th seed Bengals, and 7th seed Jaguars. So that's how I got it drawn up. I know you, Richard, had Chiefs,
I got Bengals,
Ravens, Bills.
I got Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Texans. Then I've got Chargers 5th, Broncos 5th, Chargers 6th, and then Bengals 7th, sneaking in.
Gotcha. Any of your opinions, DG or Chizzy, on that, or not that matters if you don't think so?
Give me Chiefs. Okay, division winners: Chiefs, Houston,
Bills and Ravens.
Bills and Ravens. And your 3 wild cards would be Broncos. I'll go Jags.
Sick, Jags.
I need another one.
Patriots are right there, man.
You
Wow,
had
believe
the
in
Steelers. I
Patriots
think you
like
got
that?
the Steelers. You said the
Oh, yeah,
Steelers,
and
Oh yeah, you did
Steelers.
say the Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah.
which over the Patriots, I can see it.
I got
Yeah.
Steelers.
I'm Chiefs. But division winners Chiefs, Houston. I still got a question mark with Houston's offensive line, but I mean the rest of those guys aren't really good.
It's not gonna take much to win that AFC South. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Houston. I got
Who you got winning the North?
I
That's
got
true.
Ravens. I got Bills. Obviously,
There you go.
I'll go 5th seed. I'm going to go Cincy. 6th
Wow.
seed. I'm going Chargers. 7th seed. No. 7th seed. 6th seed. 5th seed Chargers. 6th seed Cincy. And I got 7th seed being either the Jags or the Chargers.
All right. Sick. All right, let's do a quick NFC. So NFC North. I think, and I might be gassing it up a little bit. I think Packers win the division, and have an opportunity to be the 1 seed.
Really?
If things go as well as I think that's their ceiling. But I think Detroit makes the playoffs. I think Bears have a good year, but won't make the playoffs. And because I don't really know much about JJ McCarthy as a starting quarterback, I think they're gonna go from second in the division to last place.
Oof, man, I just still have to see it with the Packers. I still
Valid.
think Detroit wins that division simply because they got better on offense minus a couple of question marks on the offensive line. They did solidify their receiving core. Their running back room is still really good, and I don't anticipate a super big drop off, but it may still be a little more noticeable with them losing Ben Johnson for their offensive coordinator. I think Packers still make the playoffs, but I still need to see if Micah Parsons makes as big of an impact for their defense that a lot of people think he's going to make. And I also don't believe that the Vikings, I think it's going to take a year at least. The start of the Minnesota schedule is really tough. I think at one point I had them losing their first 3 games because no Addison, because of his suspension. A lot of their receiving core is either lost for the year or on short-term IR. So they're really going to have to cobble together a passing game to start the season. And I think the Bears will be better, but not make the playoffs.
Gotcha.
Give me to win the division. So at first, I'm still gonna go with the Lions because I picked them initially. But if I was being a betting man, I wish I would have been able to get in on the Packers before they got Micah Parsons because I know it was plus money. And I'm sad that I didn't get a chance to do that. But yeah, I'll take Lions, and I think Packers make that. I think they make the playoffs, and I think the Bears make the playoffs this year.
Oh wow, there we go.
Yeah. Ben Johnson, new coach. You know the NFL loves new coaches in their first year. Showing them having success, especially with an upstart quarterback like Caleb Williams. So yeah, I think the Bears did.
There we go.
Probably the 7th seed, I would imagine.
Trizzy, you got anybody for the NFC North?
Jordan Addison only got a 3-game suspension.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Packers, Vikings, Lions.
Really?
Vikings get second place again?
Vikings second place in division.
And then Bears
I
get
think
last.
they stay second place. I think the Bears last. I gotta see it. Like I like Ben Johnson and everything. Maybe they will be better, and I'm depending that they will. But I think Michael Parsons elevates that defense almost overnight. He does a lot of things well that will shade up a lot of guys' weaknesses as far as coverage goes because they don't really have a Jair Alexander anymore. And it was like, if you're not going to be able to cover it, then you better be sure to get to the passer. So the Packers took care of that. They'll be tough. And I think the Lions miss a beat. Not saying that they won't be a good football team. I think they still make the playoffs. As I think they're one of the divisions that has 3 playoff teams this year.
Wow.
Um, I don't know for sure how things are going to look in Seattle. So I'm gonna roll with San Fran over there as well. I think they make it back in the playoffs as well. So that's why it's kind of shaking up a little bit. Obviously, it's either gonna be between I know we haven't got there yet, but I'm just overthinking. But yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I don't think that the Lions are the same team. I don't think they have the same threat. Well, let me say this: consistent threat on offense with having a mastermind, quote unquote, a new mind there, and a new offensive, guy who's getting a lot of praise in Ben Johnson. So I think you missed a beat with that. I think it's similar to what you've seen in Baltimore with Mike McDonald. You lose your best mastermind who's making the pieces go, and stuff slow downs a bit. I don't think that defense is that good, for those guys to miss a beat as much, and I think they missed that offensive leadership from Ben Johnson and his play call.
All right. So NFC South. I think the Bucks are going to have a sneaky great year.
Like the Bucks.
Could have a really good opportunity to get the 1 seed.
This year.
I love the Bucks this year. I know everyone's high on Atlanta. I just don't know. But I think maybe it's just me being silly. I don't have them making the playoffs, but I think the Panthers could have a way better year than they did last year. I like what they did at the end of the season. I like what they did to add to the weapons wise, and I kind of like the coach, and I think Bryce Young can have an okay season. I think they could win possibly at most 9 games. So, but that's a lot of things that could happen. So NFC South, I got the Bucks as the only playoff team.
Yeah, I got Bucks making the playoffs. I think they're going to win the division again. I like their offense, even without Chris Godwin. Mecca Buka is, I think, going to have a very sneaky good rookie season for them, and they're stacked at receiver, especially when he comes back. Their tight ends are good. They got stable running backs. The offense is going to be probably one of the top offenses of the year, and I think their defense will do enough to keep them in front of a lot of games. So I have them winning the division. I initially wanted to put Atlanta in the playoffs, and actually as I was going through the schedule, they were consistently like going back and forth to be the 7th seed and sneak in through most of the season. I just don't know what their defense is going to be. Like I need to see I need to see them consistently get to the quarterback because they have not done that consistently in a very long time. I think the last time they had a double-digit sack guy was Grady Jarrett a long time ago. So they really need to show me they can get to the passer to really have a chance. I think the Saints are going to be tanking, and Carolina will be better, but not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Turk Wharton.
Right. I got the Bucks obviously winning in that division. I think they probably compete with the Panthers for it. I think the Panthers are obviously going to be a lot better this year. The Saints are going to suck. The Saints are going to be
like
so
between
bad.
them
I
and
think
the
I only
Colts.
had them winning 2 games.
Yeah, they're going to be so bad. And then the Falcons, I think the Falcons and the Panthers are the 2 teams that are probably be jockeying for a position to try to compete with Tampa. I think Tampa finishes 10-7 or 11-6, somewhere in that range.
Oh, I got them. I got them 12-5.
Yeah, I'm about to say I actually have them winning 12 games.
Hey, you seen it? Don't take much to win that division. All you gotta do is win by 9
but
they could sleepwalk off.
they could sleepwalk to the division, but I actually think they could win 12 games and push for a top 3 seed. I mean, the NFC is not that strong.
They play tough opponents. I mean, they face the Bills on the road, but I mean, I think at that point it could be a real. People might say it's a Super Bowl preview for that game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got Tampa.
I got Tampa easy.
I would love to see the Panthers make the play.
Dude, I was so.
They get a lot of their easy. They get a lot of their.
I was looking at the schedule and I'm like, man, if they could win 10 games, they could possibly make the playoffs. I just think the NFC has a lot of really bad teams, which would inflate the records of a lot of good teams.
Right.
Oh shit, Richard. Trizzy, do you have a NFC South winner?
Yeah, I'll go Bucks.
Sick.
Anybody
else in the playoffs?
Nah, that's it. I think Bucks.
Got you. NFC East. I think it's the Eagles division to lose, but I do think the Commanders also make the playoffs. I think the Giants are going to finish third, and I think the Cowboys are going to finish last. And I had that even before the Michael Parsons trade.
Yeah.
The vibes in Dallas. Justin Madden asked about the Parsons trade, and if that was a great idea. And personally, I think even with Micah, they were going to have a really rough year, and they were going to be very much like the Bengals were last year, where they have to really dial in offensively to compete in these games, because their defense without Micah is one of the worst in the league. But like with last year, I didn't really think they were a great defense then either. So
yeah, I think ultimately you probably should have paid him. But then again, I think Dallas was kind of in that position where they kind of know the future might be upon them quicker than they think, or quicker than they probably wanted it to be. So those 2 first-round picks, I think, are going to pay dividends for them at some point in the future. But that question still remains at this point. The Packers, I think, obviously won that trade. Only having to give up Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks, I think, is going to pay more dividends for them in the now, in the present, than it will for the Cowboys. I still don't understand how the Cowboys didn't ask for Rashawn Gary in that trade. Because that's ultimately who I would have been willing to deal Michael Parsons for.
Because Micah Parsons can't stop the run. But
Lucas
I'm gonna give
Kingsley Enikbare, like they had so many nice young players.
Yeah. And I'm
going to
give you an edge
receiver too. They could have.
Give you an edge rusher. You got to give me an edge rusher. Like I don't want to. I'm not gonna give you an edge rusher for an interior, pass rusher as well, who didn't have that great of a year last year. Obviously we know Kenny Clark has been one of the better defensive tackles in this league at a certain point in time, but last year was just not great. So
he was hurt, and I get that, but yeah. I was surprised that he actually went and did it at first, but then I remember who I'm talking about, and it's Jerry Jones, and this man lives for the theater, and first and foremost. So I guess ultimately I'm not surprised. I'm just a little surprised at the return. Not so much the 2 first-round picks, but more so the player they got in return. We'll see what happens with that. Clearly, they're looking towards the future, but considering that they have in the last 10 years counting the offensive line picks that they've gotten, they have like a 50% hit rate on first round picks, and that's with counting the O-line picks that they've made as hits, which we still don't know yet. So that's not exactly a guarantee, but we'll see.
Who do you have in the East, guys?
Oh,
Well, I got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles are winning the division. Washington's going to make the playoffs. That's it. Sorry, Dallas. Sorry, New York. Maybe next year.
I have a confession to make.
Oh God,
I put
Commanders.
I put the Cowboys on a bet. It was plus 500.
But you didn't put them in the playoffs, right?
I put
think
them
that
to
was the
win the
bet.
division.
Oh, what?
It was plus 5. It was
Dude, that
plus
would be
3.
honestly hilarious.
Ladies and
if they
gentlemen,
figured it out.
if you have a gambling addiction, please seek help. There are resources
Yeah,
out there to assist you.
look.
This is not betting advice. We do not.
Is that your
All
actual
within your
pick
means.
though?
Can I? No, that's not my pick. The Eagles.
Okay.
I think the Eagles will win the division.
was
And I think the
gonna say.
Commanders make the playoffs too.
That's disgusting.
So initially I didn't know that Michael Parsons was gonna get traded, and I thought,
And you
this
still
division
bet
has
on
been
them
a-
to win the division?
what?
That's-
Listen to my logic. This division has been a division that somebody hasn't won this division back-to-back years in a long time. So I was just going off of
History, yeah.
vibes and history.
What was the
And-
what was the Commanders to win the division? at that
Commanders are
time?
like plus 325 or something like that.
That
It was
could've been
like
good.
plus 500. How did I pass that
He
up?
bet with his wallet and not with his heart. That's unfortunate.
So I'm probably gonna look like an idiot at the end of the year.
Or
But
you look like a genius.
or if the Cowboys hear this and you want to win the division, make me look like a genius.
All right. NFC. Dude, we did the NFC
Yeah.
South already.
NFC
NFC
baby.
West. So this one's
I
a
know Trizzy got the 49ers, and
I got
uh,
the Rams winning the division, but it all predicates on Stafford being healthy. Otherwise, I do have the 49ers in the playoffs. And then I think Seattle can start off strong and kind of fool people and then start losing. And then
even Sam Darnold.
Cardinals could be sneaky, but I mean, every time you think they're sneaky, they end up not being good. So I have Seattle as the third seed.
I'm with
third.
Yeah, I'm with Trizzy. I think the 49ers win the division. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL this season. They get a lot of their toughest games are at home. They're healthy this year. Yes, they lost a couple of pieces that you'd love for them to still have on that defense, but they've got good replacements. I think even with their receiving issues to start the year, I still think they're going to be just fine. I think they win the division. I actually have the Cardinals jockeying with the Rams for second place in the division. I'm a little concerned about Matthew Stafford's health at this point, because I don't know how good their offensive line is going to be. I think their run game is still going to be fine. But their receiving core is kind of Puka Nacua, and that's really it. I don't know if Devontae Adams is going to be as big of a boon for that offense as people are seeming to think it's going to be. Personally, I actually have a little bit more faith that the Cardinals take a leap this year and jockey with them for the second team. I don't think they make the playoffs ultimately. I actually only have the 49ers out of the West just because there's a lot of interesting teams in the mix, and I think someone's going to get lost in the shuffle, and I think it's going to be the Rams. But I think the Cardinals are a lot better this year. I think their offense in the second year with a lot of these guys is going to be better. I think their defense is going to be better. They've got a lot of their pass rush should be better. I like their linebackers, and they still got Budda Baker back there patrolling the secondary. So I think the Seahawks are going to be the fourth team in the division. I do not believe in Sam Darnold. I believe in the running game, but I do not believe personally in their passing game. I feel like it's Cooper Kupp, Jackson's JSN, pretty much JSN or bust. I don't know how much Cooper Kupp is going to help, and they have nobody behind those guys. So
Yeah.
I
Walker
actually
looks
think
good,
they're
though.
going to be fourth in the division.
Yeah. I got the Rams, and I would love to say the Niners are gonna make it, but they just got too many injuries for me at the receiver position. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I don't trust.
You mean
that.
Chiefs Junior? I mean, they got
Yeah.
Sky Moore, they got MVS.
Yeah. I'll say Rams, and I'll give the Niners just out of respect for Kyle Shanahan and what he can do. So yeah, I think Rams and Niners make it. Rams win division, Niners make it in.
Putting all the former Chiefs receivers back in the playoffs. Love it. Shout out to Marcus Robinson.
2022 roster is gonna be on that receiving course.
Yeah, I don't foresee that many problems with the Niners. Just they have the easiest schedule in the NFL. All their difficult games are at home.
I mean, they will get Ayuk back, and Jennings back. So it's just
and Pearsall, and so I think they'll be fine.
so for the seedings and stuff. Personally, I'll just say the Packers at 1, Eagles 2, Rams, and then Bucks. And I think the difference is just based on conference record, because I think the Bucks can win 12 games. I think the Eagles can win 12 games. I think the Rams in their potential could win 12 games. So it depends on that. And then I got 49ers 5th, Commanders 6th, and Lions 7th.
And the Lions 7th. Wow. I got Eagles, Lions, Bucks 3rd seed, and 49ers 4th. But I think that 3rd and 4th can easily be flipped depending on record. Then for me, it'll be Packers and either Cardinals or Seahawks. Sorry, either Cardinals or Rams, depending on who's going to get second place in that division. And then the 7th seed, I think, is ultimately going to come down to who decides they're going to win more than 9 games. And that's probably going to be the Commanders. I don't see a whole lot of teams in that middle of the pack of the NFC winning more than 9 games other than the Commanders. So any of those 3 teams could be 5, 6, or 7 between Rams, Commanders, and Packers. So
Seeding, we'll do Rams. Well, I guess I'll go 1 seed. 1 seed will be, I don't want to say 1 seed. I'll just go Rams division. NFC South, Tampa. NFC East, Eagles. And NFC North, I got
Detroit still.
Detroit still. Packers, wild card. Bears, wild card. And Niners, wild card.
no Commanders. No Commanders love, I see.
I think they have potential to fall off.
Yeah, I think they could get in. I guess I'll change. Okay, I'll change my pick. I'll change it to Commanders. So we'll switch Commanders.
I just don't see them losing less than 10 games still. That's all. And I think 10 games gets at least a 7 seed.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. I just had Commanders at 7 seed, so pretty much
Sick.
so.
All right. And I got some rapid fire to end our predictions. So who do you think's gonna win the MVP? We could just all say it and make it
15.
quick. Mahomes.
Yep.
I think Baker could win MVP though.
MVP. If it's not Pat, I'll go.
If it's not Pat, I think it's actually gonna be Joe Burrow. If it's not Pat,
Yeah, I can see Burrow winning. It's to me, it's between Burrow or Lamar Jackson.
My Pat.
Hell yeah. Defensive player of the year. Because he went to the Packers. I'll go with Parsons.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Micah Parsons. I think he goes crazy with that defense.
I got a pick for you, Jared Verse.
There we go for the Rams.
He's my runner up. I think those two are gonna go stupid this year and be fighting out for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Parsons won it, but I'll take Jared Verse over him right now.
Go offensive player of the year. You can skip me for now. I'm trying to think of who I got.
Is it weird? I think it may be Saquon again.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Who else realistically? I mean, I get Justin Jefferson's with a.
It depends on a good wide receiver. I mean, Jamar Chase could win again.
There's a guy who wears 26 in Detroit. He's an up-and-coming running back.
Yeah, I guess
he's going to get a lot of touches this year. Jahmyr Gibbs is winning Offensive Player of the Year.
Jahmyr Gibbs, wow. I'll just say if the Bengals season goes well, and I think Jamar Chase is going to have another great year, so I'll just say Jamar Chase.
I don't know. I still think that Detroit backfield, David Montgomery's going to take too many carries, but away from him. But we'll see.
And then I'm going Ashton Genty with Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's either that or Cam Ward.
I'm actually going Luther Burden. I actually think he breaks out in that Bears offense.
Or Josh Simmons
has a really good year. I don't see an offensive lineman winning it. That would be insane, and that would be awesome. But I don't think it would happen.
Josh Simmons winning Offensive Rookie of the Year would be crazy. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'll go. I'll say Tech McMillan.
Nice. That's a good choice. Defensive rookie, I'm going to go with a wild card here. I think everyone's picking Abdul Carter. I think Walter Nolan could have a really great season with the Cardinals. So, wait, he's injured. Shoot. I'll go Abdul Carter.
I still think he could, but I'm sticking with Abdul Carter. I think he's going to be an absolute menace. Though Travis Hunter, depending upon how many defensive snaps they give him, would be an interesting selection.
Yeah. Abdul.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the obvious too. Probably Abdul, just from pass rush perspective and that line that he's in. So yeah.
All right, and these are all going to be Chiefs stat leaders. Who do you think is going to lead the team in total touchdowns? That isn't, Mahomes throwing passes. I'm going to go with Xavier Worthy.
I'm going to go with Travis. I think Travis got one more great year in him. And I think he may lead the team in total touchdowns again.
I'm going with my guy Bucket this year. He's gonna be a Pro Bowler. He might be an All-Pro. Xavier Worthy is gonna have a breakout year this year. Him getting 6 games without Rashee Rice is gonna give him a head start on it. I think Xavier Worthy is leader in touchdowns.
Who's going to lead the league? Who's going to not lead the league? Jesus. Lead the team in sacks.
Oh, it's got to be Chris Jones.
Last year you thought it would be Chris Jones, but it ended up being Tershawn Wharton.
I think it's going to be Chris Jones. this happens every other year with Chris Jones. He has a really great year, then he has a down year, then he has not as great a year, and people think that it's going to be there's something wrong or something like that. No, I think Chris Jones is going to come.
I'll say George Karlaftis. You better show me the money.
I was going to pick George Karlaftis.
I need
too.
15.5, brother.
15.5 would be insane. I would love that.
Yeah, I got George Karlaftis, 11.5.
I'll take 11.5.
That I'll take.
11.5 is very doable, I think.
In just regular
Interceptions.
season, I'll take that.
Interceptions, I think. I'll say Nick Bolton.
Oh, wow.
Depending on how much he plays, I actually think Jaden Hicks could lead this team in picks. He was getting them by bunches toward the end of the season last year. So depending on how much he plays, I think Jaden Hicks could have a really big
I think it's a tie, Jaden Hicks and Trent McDuffie.
Yeah. I got Jaden Hicks, Trent McDuffie. I got the rookie out of Cal right behind him.
I was thinking about Noel Williams, but I don't know. Depending on the depth chart, I don't know where he is at, really.
Yeah.
And then what are we expecting out of Pat this year? Just shots out of the dark. I think this is going to be a bounce back year. I think it's going to be very similar to his 2020 season, where he's close to 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, gets his picks down. So I think he has the opportunity to break his all-time, yardage record they had in 2022, but I'll be more conservative. But he's definitely going over 4,000 yards, and he's getting more than 35 touchdowns.
2022 season, I'll take that. We lost in 2020. I don't want 2020 season. I want 2022 season. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, dunk on the league again. Let them know what they missed, what they was talking about, all that other stuff. I think he's going to be down with the interceptions because I think we're going to run the ball a lot more. I think we have the capability to run the ball a lot more, depending on Josh Simmons. And, if he's the guy that they say he is, he's really going to unlock the Chiefs offense. I don't see no problems with us being able to scheme guys up week to week. Obviously, some of the defenses are going to be tougher, but in the long run, I think we have the perfect play caller and we have the perfect guy at the helm. So now it's just kind of about executing that, letting Andy Reid get back into his bag, do a lot of things he liked to do, couldn't really do last year, being conservative with play calls and stuff because of the offensive line situation. So I think we're back to around 4,400 yards, somewhere around 35 to 40 touchdowns, maybe like 4 or 5 picks, depending on, what's going on with the offensive line, but maybe no more than 8 for real. And I think, he's higher level with the touchdowns. I think he runs for a little bit more touchdowns too this year.
Yeah, I got 40. I got 40 total. I think he goes over 35 touchdowns passing. I think he gets a couple more rushing touchdowns this year. I think ultimately he keeps it under 12 picks. I think he'll probably be around that 10 range just because he's probably going to take a few more deep shots this year. But I'm looking at 4K plus total yards and 40 total touchdowns from him.
Yeah, I got 4,000 yards. I need my 30 touchdowns because that's on my bet ticket. And I actually think he throws single digit interceptions this year. I think he takes care of the ball a lot better. And I think it's what Trizzy said too. I think that also us running the ball a lot more was probably going to help with that as well too. So yeah, I think he puts the league back on notice. I think he takes his rank back as the best quarterback in the league for sure.
Hell yeah! And then Super Bowl pick, I'm gonna say I have Chiefs over the Rams this year.
Chiefs over Lions. We finally get that Super Bowl that we thought we were going to get in 2023.
Yeah, I'll say. You know what I'm actually gonna say?
Is it gonna be the Chiefs Cowboys?
The Chiefs beat the Packers in a rematch of Super Bowl 1 60 years later. And get their revenge for that game. Yeah.
That would be
see
great.
Michael Parsons in Levi's Stadium.
Yeah. Chiefs over Packers, I think we was a year too early with the Packers. I think this is their year with Michael Parsons. That offense is going to be good. I like the addition from Texas. I like Christian Watson. I like Jaden Reed. I think he's went a little bit under the radar since they picked up that guy, Matthew Golden. So I got Packers. I think they have enough to make it difficult. And the play caller with Matt LaFleur, I think he's going to make stuff difficult for them to beat late in the year. Not saying that they can't lose, but I really like that offense. And I think if Jordan Love can, play good when it's time to play good, I think he'll be a dangerous with that running game and with those play calling. And now that addition of Michael Parsons on that pass rush, causes for problems and allows the defense to do some different things coverage wise. So that'll help those guys out a lot. I like those.
Hell yeah.
Josh Simmons versus Micah Parsons. Oof.
No, he'll get chip help. We seen enough of that. We're not leaving him on the island all game at least.
Hell yeah. So those are our predictions. What we thought we'd do to end it is me and Rich came up with a couple slips for this weekend's Chargers game. One with a little low risk, but another with a pretty easy payout. This is my parlay from FanDuel, the odds plus 400. I think Mahomes can get 250 yards because Rashid's down down because he has to be forced to be. I got him with 4 receptions, and then Kareem Hunt with 15 yards at plus 400. I think this is all doable against this Chargers defense. I think the run is going to be balanced pretty well between Kareem and Pacheco, so Kareem's going to have opportunity, and I think Marquise could have a really good game this game. Thoughts on this, DG?
I definitely think Pat could hit the yards. I think the only play on this is the Marquise Brown receptions, but if Pat, the correlation with Pat's yards would obviously help you with the Hollywood Brown reception. So I think it's doable. That's the only leg that would scare me is Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I didn't know who to choose between him or like Noah Gray getting 3 receptions because Noah Gray was so good for us last year, but
Noah would be a good play.
Wow. This one, I couldn't believe it when I was told what the line was on this. Let's pull this baby up.
Yes, I'm pulling it up right now. This is Richards. This is at plus 3,200, so a little bit more.
Bear with me here, because this is I couldn't believe it because a couple of these are like, you kidding me? Like, especially against the Chargers. So we gotta take Pop and Trav for anytime touchdown score. I mean, those two are easy. With the Jalen Royals news and Rashid being out, Juju 25 plus receiving yards, I think can be gotten 2 catches, and he should be playing a really good amount of snaps this game. He's basically de facto wide receiver 3. So he's going to get plenty of opportunities in the slot and over the middle of the field. And Pat averaged about 20 yards rushing last season, and he's good for at least 2-3 games a season where he pops a couple of pretty good runs. And I think that 20 plus rushing yards, even on scrambles, is completely doable here. Plus 3,200, I feel like this is easy money for this parlay just in this game. I was shocked when it looked like this when it came out. I would place money on this easy.
Yeah, this is right up my degenerate alley.
I thought of you, DG.
Yeah, this is definitely a DG play for sure. I probably would scare people with of course, anytime touchdowns scare anybody on
Yeah.
parlays or anything like that. Love the Juju Smith.
It's Trav and Isaiah. They're the two easiest players you can think of to get anytime
Yeah,
touchdown.
but
Travis hasn't had the touchdown numbers the last 2 years. That's
you
the one
always
thing.
go into a game thinking that these people are gonna score, and then
This the last ride, bro.
And
He's gonna
then
come.
they-
He's gonna come out swinging.
and then they
Travis
sell
gonna
it.
get to the 1 yard line and they're gonna feed it to Kareem Hunt. That's what's
Or
gonna
they-
happen.
or Noah Gray steals his touchdowns. Oh, I love the Juju Smith Schuster play. I'd probably put that on any parlay for real. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna get the volume of touches to cover that. Pat's rushing yards, I could definitely see, although I don't know how much I want him running on this field that we're about to play on. But Pat's always good for at least a couple first down pickups or something like that, with his legs. So if he's got to get out and escape at points in times, I can see him doing that too. So yeah, this is definitely a DG degenerate play.
Hell yeah. So that is it for tonight. We got you 2 parlays, 1 plus 400, 1 plus 3,200. Our big predictions episode. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're watching via X or YouTube. Really appreciate it. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on X for all the updates and everything. Thanks to DG, to Richard, to Trizzy, and to Corey for joining us today. I'm Dominic. You'll see you guys next week as we preview. We go over Chargers film and preview the great Super Bowl rematch against the Eagles. Guys, take it easy and have fun this Friday. All right.